Let's listen. This is your sound souvenir. A continual source of entertainment, of education, of beauty.
I am the sort of person who cannot throw away sacks.
That can be a problem.
I've got a bin in the pantry, and it's probably got 200 to 300 plastic sacks in it.
Good Lord!
Would
it kill you to throw like 100 away?
Well, see, that's the thing. I can't do it. And this is what's even crazier, because before we got to the studio this morning, I stopped off at the Target, and I picked up a few items, and I've got a couple of bags of merchandise from Target in my trunk, and I'm going to get home, I'm going to empty the contents of those sacks, and those sacks are going right into the bin in the pantry.
Wow.
I can't.
You already know ahead of time you're going to do it.
I can't stop myself.
What's the definition of mentally ill?
I can't throw.
When does practicality end and psychosis begin?
The Target sacks are the worst, though, because
they're very good sacks.
They're high quality sacks, and I just cannot bring myself to throw them away, even though I've got at least 200 sacks in this bin.
Well, I've got a suggestion for you. Here's what I do. Try to utilize my process. Every shopping excursion will yield you a certain number of bags. Sometimes that will be 20. Sometimes there will be 2. From each of those excursions, you take 1 bag. Only allow yourself to keep bags from the last 3 to 4 excursions. Maybe put up 5 hooks and limit yourself to only hanging those bags from those hooks. And when you get a new one, you hang it up and you throw away the oldest one. And that works for me. I never want for bags.
You really do that?
I never want for bags. Never.
Well, that's the thing. I can't. I've never really needed more than the occasional bag here and there. I can't imagine what I could ever need 200 plus bags for.
Well, you don't, and you realize that, which is part of the weirdness of this whole thing.
I'm just afraid one day I'm going to need 100 bags for something. I don't know. I can't bring myself to throw them away.
Have you considered the fact that they are a suffocation hazard?
Well, I have not considered that. I can't.
You should consider maybe having somebody else handle your bags for you.
But I think what we should do now, though, because I see we've got more than one phone line lit up.
What is it with that? I noticed a lot of flashing, but I didn't know where it was coming from.
Well, those are the phone lines. And when a call comes in to our phone bank...
I forgot today's open phones, isn't it? That's probably why. Open phones always brings the phone calls. People love open phones.
It would be if it would be an open phone Friday if we actually were on the air on Fridays, but we're not. But
we'll just call it open phones.
Open phones is good. And we've got a few blinking right now, so rather than talk about the fact that we have calls coming in.
What's with the sweater?
You
don't seem like a sweater person.
No,
I've never seen you in a sweater before.
I have a number of sweaters there. In the cooler months, I'm very much a layering person.
Doesn't suit you very well.
I got line 2 ready to go.
Well, you want me to?
We're ready.
We'll take call line 2. Let me just caller, go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. How you doing?
You mean morning?
Yes, of course.
Why'd you call?
Well, to be quite honest, I'm not really. I've had a lot of women talk to me, and they love who I am. And you know what?
You're like a classy guy, though.
Oh,
yeah, I can tell.
Well, that is true. I'll agree.
You're like a gigolo.
I'm actually a musician, so.
Oh,
yeah.
You play music?
Oh, yeah.
Does that pay well?
tons of money. I mean, actually,
What kind of music?
Check this out. I play in a banda, and you know what? There's tons of quinceañeras and bodas out here.
Oh, you mean those Mexican parties?
Exactly. Yeah, there's a lot.
How much do you make?
I probably make close to probably like between 5 and 6 a week.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was considering maybe bringing some live music into Whiz Bangs, and maybe you and your band would like to come on down. But now I'm not so sure because you're making some pretty nice scratch, and I'm looking for a band that's willing to work on tips mostly, and they're hard to find.
Yeah.
Very hard. Thanks for the call.
This beautiful melody has been generated by the beloved master, Irving Field.
I keep hearing pianos in my head. They don't stop. They ring all over my body. They just don't stop. They just don't stop.
Open phones.
Some people can wear, sweaters. You just don't seem like that kind of person, is all I wanted to say.
You can tolerate me wearing a sweater.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Don't take it off.
Okay.
It just, in the future, you may want to, ponder that before you leave your apartment.
Well, Mr. Biggs, I appreciate the advice, because sometimes
it's why I'm here.
Well, sometimes as a bachelor, you rely on your
bachelor friends to tell you.
Well, that
when you look ridiculous,
and yourself when you
look ridiculous
when you get dressed in the morning and you leave, you really
it looks uncomfortable and it's not attractive to look at.
Do you think it's just is it the fit?
It's the cut, it's the color, the way that it hugs your midsection, your pectoral area.
Should I go a size up? Maybe should I?
Maybe 2. I'd say 2.
Wow. I'll have to watch the calories a little more closely. I can't say the same for you. You've got a handsome tracksuit on. Again, velour, yes?
Yes, this is velour.
I don't want to call that a navy blue because I don't think that navy blue does it justice, because it's even richer and more brilliant than a navy blue. Maybe the velour is making it look more brilliant.
It depends on how the light is hitting it at the time. You see, when I rub my hand over it, see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's a little shimmer, a little something in there.
What's the way the light...
Some reflective fibers of some sort.
Right, the way the light's hitting the...
Yeah.
It's a handsome garment. I've got an email here. The email address, if anybody has a question for Mr. Biggs, is biggscast@gmail.com. Dear Mr. Biggs, I think it's possible that some of my active particles have been shaken from their plates. This no doubt happened while they were in a partially discharged state. Now, I've been told that this condition could affect my gravity reading, which I've also been told should be between 1.280 and 1.300. How do I know what my own personal gravity reading is? Who should I see about getting someone to read my gravity for me?
Whoa, slow down.
What?
How many questions are we going to have here?
Well, this is. There's
I don't know where to start.
There's a lot to digest here. Now he's what it sounds like to me.
He's a chatterbox.
This is from Cyrus in Michigan. I'm not sure if he's a chatterbox, but it sounds like he knows
he's worried about his gravity reading.
He knows what the parameters are.
Well, actually, what were the parameters that he indicated again?
He says that he's been told that his gravity reading should be between 1.280 and 1.300.
And he's in Michigan.
He's in Michigan.
See that right there? That's a problem, because in your colder climates, your gravity reading should actually read from 1.15, I believe, to 1.23.
Oh, my goodness.
You have to take into account for lower viscosity. So whoever he's speaking with, he's probably going on internet. And on internet, there's lots of guys that like to talk, but they don't know a lot of practical knowledge. That being said, your gravity reading, if you don't know what it is, you're going to have that checked.
Right. Well, he wants to know how can
because your calculations begin at that point.
I think what Cyrus in Michigan wants to know is how can he get his gravity read?
Well, you got to go in and have it checked. You got to have it measured with a liquid displacement buoyancy gauge. And you're only going to find one of those in one of your service centers. If you want. Now, I don't recommend this. Can I say that?
Well,
Can I recommend something that I don't recommend?
Well, I think it's...
You can make a crude one if you got like a glass aquarium, like you put fish in.
Right.
And you need one that's like big enough for the plate assembly. You got to have a big one. And you fill that up with some Caro's high fructose corn syrup. And you get a Canadian nickel. But the problem is, in order to use that to get your gravity reading, you still need to calibrate it. And where you going to do that? You see where I'm going with this? You got to take that into the shop to have them calibrate it, so you might as well bring it in to have them do the reading for you using their buoyancy gauge. So I'm going to have to say, see a professional. Next call.
That's a lot of corn syrup, too. I can't imagine you'd want to...
Well, he lives in Michigan. He's got that on hand in the pantry, I'm sure.
Well, we're talking several gallons, aren't we?
Yeah. Nice. Sweet goodness.
I can't imagine anybody having more than a quart or two of corn syrup in the pantry.
Your problem is you don't imagine enough.
Really. Even if you do a lot of, baking.
It's a large, warm, anticyclonic flow of air spreading all of the heat sucked in at the surface out into the stratosphere with just completely unimaginable energy.
Have we talked about whiz-bangs yet?
Let's see.
You are a messy man.
I just can't go anywhere.
You should get organized. You need to get one of those Palm Pilots.
Yeah, I'm afraid of those. Whiz-bangs. Before we get to that, though, about what's going on at Whiz-bangs, I noticed that there's some construction happening over there on Phillips. Right near the intersection, and they've got that lane whittled down to one. Right?
Yeah, we're having to put in a new line to the sewer. We're doing some upgrades and retrofits to the facility.
Well, that can't but help.
Eventually it will. In the meantime, there is limited access off Phillips. So what you're going to want to do is go around the mountain and use the parking facility from that side. I
think they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
As long as everybody's careful.
I got this idea. We're going to do a build-your-own cocktail bar in a couple of weeks. But as it turns out, we got to have drainage. I don't know why, because who's going to be spilling, the sauce when they're the ones serving up their own drinks? Everyone's going to want every drop,
Well, yeah, you've got...
but the codes say we got to have a drain on the floor, so we got to run pipe out to the street, and it's crazy. So, but that's not ready yet. We won't have that ready until a couple of weeks from now. This Thursday night, I'm very excited. It's the return of karaoke to Whiz-Bangs, the triumphant return. It will be a slight modification. This Thursday night at 9, it will be public domain karaoke at Whiz Bangs.
Mm-hmm.
Just when we got ready. I mean, Gladys got a brand new 3-ring binder with all the song listings because, after it was vandalized.
Right.
And we got a brand new one. It was ready to go. Hector got the stepladder out, and he got the classic rock number 4 disc out of the rafters.
Oh.
The one with Born to Be Wild on it. He got that down, and she had almost nearly a complete set of her karaoke discs. And then, not that same afternoon, the guys in the suits, they show up, and they want us to pay them to let people sing in our nightclub.
Oh, I see.
They want royalties.
Wow. That's,
If a man wants to go out after a hard day's work and go in and have a few drinks and whip out a rendition of Wake Me Up Before You Go, I say that's his business and the business of the business that he's doing it in. That's what I say.
I have to agree, but I'm assuming that these people wanted you to pay some sort of fee?
Yeah, I had to pay royalties, they said. And I have to pay back I don't know. But this week we're doing public domain karaoke.
Right.
And so, bring out your American songbooks, people. Gladys isn't real happy about this, but she's got fresh batteries in her Casio keyboard, and we're looking to have a fine time this Thursday night.
Now, I'm by public domain karaoke. I'm thinking people will come on down and they can sing "Row Your Boat."
Yeah, Old MacDonald, the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Right. Anything that there are no licensing fees.
Yeah. Anything from Wings. What else? Yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, the theme from Happy Days.
That's
anything in the public domain is good to go.
The theme from Happy Days is in the public domain?
I think it is.
I don't know exactly.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not much for the nightlife, but this sounds like that.
And we won't have to worry about Gladys's binder getting vandalized again. And by the way, whoever did that wasn't funny. That was vulgar. That wasn't funny.
It's Whiz Bangs at Phillips and Mountain downtown, where the fun never ends and the party's never ending. Hey, we got another call.
Hey.
Why don't we jump on that right now? This is line 3. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
No, I actually worked there today. I was to work there.
Is this Hector?
Yeah.
Why are you calling?
Well, before anybody left, they closed all the gates to make sure they didn't go around the others and let them out to the front.
Hector.
Before he let us out.
Hector.
Said that the only people that actually left were the troublemakers.
Don't call during the show. I told Roscoe only during an emergency.
Yeah, he actually said that he was happy that they left because look how calm and how nice it is right now.
Is this an emergency, Hector?
No, and you know
You're
what?
supposed to call my cell and not during the show.
We had another crew working down the street, and they said they weren't doing nothing but problems off a gate.
I'll deal with this later, Hector. I'll call you after the show.
Yeah.
You see, I suppose I ought to explain. We're doing some work down at Whiz Bangs, right? And Hector is doing some laminate work for me.
Oh, geez.
He's working on the bar, right?
Uh-huh.
And the past couple of weeks, we got these business guys coming in for their late morning liquid brunch, and they're causing problems. And so I told Hector, if anything goes haywire, you call me and you let me know, and we'll 86 them. And but I told him during the show
he wasn't supposed to call right now.
He's one of those Spaniards. He doesn't understand the first time you tell him.
Well, perhaps English is not his first language. He wouldn't be familiar with colloquialisms like maybe 86'em or something like that. Do you think Hector knows what that is, what that means?
I'd have to say that Hector is doing some laminate work for us.
And
He's working on the build-your-own cocktail bar. He's putting some Formica down.
Hesitate.
Roll on.
Because the Consumer
Electronics Association
has developed a really great interactive connections guide.
So easy to use.
Even I can follow the directions.
Color-coded illustrations.
Well, let's briefly describe how the guide works.
Illustrations of 9 different audio-visual components will be displayed.
Such as
a DVD player,
DVD,
a VCR,
the VCR,
to a TV set,
the TV,
the various
connectors,
along with an illustration.
In this case,
after selecting
all the cable
connectors involved,
you're in business.
That's all one word.
Each of the connectors are to be plugged in.
Once all connections are correctly made, the guide will display a detailed,
complicated entertainment system
of 3 or more devices.
And a better
connection means better sound and picture. Chuck recommends using gold-plated connectors.
This is particularly important
if you have a
checklist of the various
connectors,
along with an illustration of the rear panel of the component involved. For instance,
www.
Even I can follow the directions.
Plus, it protects
the signal from
degrading as it
travels the
distance of the cable.
Another neat feature of the guide,
or a series of hints,
too complicated to connect.
Gold plating produces a better connection between the component and the cable connector.
CEA Connections Guide.
CEA Connections Guide. CEA's connections page at
www.com. That address again is
.com.
Now, I'm assuming with the build your own cocktail bar, which is yet to be unveiled, but it's in the works.
Yeah,
I'm assuming this is all on the up and up with the state liquor board.
Hmm.
I'm just
what?
I'm assuming that Gladys or somebody in the in the office has looked into the regulations with the state liquor board.
I'm sure. Yeah, probably. One would think.
Well, good. Got that all ironed out.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, that ought to be a good time then. But this coming Thursday, it's the
public domain karaoke.
Sounds like a good time. I think I'm gonna have to try to get out there if I can.
We'd love to have you.
I don't know if you saw this item in the news recently. There's a gentleman in Connecticut. Apparently, he works at a hardware store, place called Hardy's Hardware.
It's good.
Yeah, it's in Connecticut. It's kind of catchy. And I know that you spend lots of time in hardware stores. So
I like to just hang out.
Right. It's a place where you can go and wander around and feel.
Yeah. Like to rummage through the bins.
Well, this gentleman he worked at Hardy's Hardware in Connecticut. He was unloading supplies. Apparently, they got a shipment of sheet metal, and he says that.
What did you just say?
They got a shipment of sheet metal.
Can you say that?
I don't. Well, yeah, I suppose. What do you mean?
I just, my family sensibilities make me wonder if you want to use that kind of language, on the show. This time of the day, there's bound to be kids listening.
Well, I think it's all on the up and up. They got a shipment of sheet metal.
Wow, that does not sound right.
Well, admittedly,
want to rephrase it, maybe?
Well, sure. They got he was unloading some supplies, and this gentleman saw the face of Jesus Christ on a piece of sheet metal.
Oh, what do you know? Yeah, it's.
Looks like we have a.
People see all kinds of stuff.
Standing by.
Looks like we have a call. Maybe we ought to.
Okay.
Are you
ready?
It's open phones.
Open phones.
Open phones. So
caller, hello.
Hi. Okay. Now, I'm not sure about. Well, I mean, I do believe that we're in the last days.
You mean like that Schwarzenegger apocalypse movie?
Yeah. Whether it's an apocalypse or not, I mean, what I'm saying is...
You're saying that the world is ending.
I don't know. That's the whole thing. We should never... We don't really know, but
I don't know.
People should start preparing their, their wills. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, one day, about 6 months, whatever ago, I was, TV was on, and all of a sudden this ad was on, and I sat up right, and I paid attention, and it was saying how, it and all this stuff, and it gave a phone number. I wrote it down, and then it got lost in the shuffle bunch of papers, and I found it, and I haven't called it just yet, but I was curious.
Ma'am, maybe a good idea to call that number right now.
Oh, my.
Okay.
All
right.
Thanks for the call. Open phones.
That's it's open phones for you. When you leave the phones open, you never know what's going to come in.
Good point.
Happy birthday, bro. This is Bob, and have a good time from here on.
Say, Ross, we've known you for a long time, and now I'd just like to say you've been a clean-cut fella up to now, and now we're going to allow you to smoke, drink, and go out with women.
Got another email. Maybe I know it's here somewhere. If I could have you.
Wow.
What's that?
That is quite a stack you've got over there.
It's funny. I often bring way more than I need.
I don't think there are that many emails coming in to bigscast@gmail.com.
Well, that's true. There's not.
You've got a healthy stack over there. Maybe you're printing out the emails more than you need to. You just got to print it out the one time.
I like to be ready.
Caller, go ahead.
Did you want to? Well, we can. Did you want to call? I'll leave it up to you.
I'll say yes.
Well, let's get the options first. Phone call?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do the email later.
Line 7's ready.
We've got a call on line 7. Caller, hello?
Yes, gentlemen.
Open phones. What do you want to say?
No, pretty much we're pretty much in a big brother state, whether you want to realize it or not. They have a lot of power if they wanted to use it.
What do you mean?
You can shoot an animal with a gun and eat it, or you can...
Are you saying the government's watching us?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Because...
You got to explain these things when you say them. You can't just throw it out.
Well, I tell you what, guys, here's the thing. It's kind of like me arguing with Einstein about math, you know what I mean? When he knows what he knows, because he's studied, because he's, the man he is, I don't have much...
So I'm Einstein, and you're explaining to me about math and the government. I don't understand.
Well, I think if you're older than a child and you studied and looked into it, that you might see that there's more to it than you think. I mean, I've heard a lot that I.
All right, thanks for the call. You mind if I take my shoes off?
Well, no, that'll be.
They are pinching something fierce. Oh yeah, let the dogs out.
Now those are.
Let the dogs out. I did. Just did. Took them out of the shoes. Oh.
Those are some. You've got the Velcro straps.
Oh yeah.
On those, that's.
Why would you want to tie your shoes in this day and age? I mean, come on. This is the space age, is it not? I mean, you're with me, right? It's the space age.
It is. It is the space age. I've never, though. Admit it, I've never owned a pair of Velcro strap shoes.
Well, then you think of all the wasted seconds that you've got built up. I've got them, and you know what I'm doing with them? I'm building a build-your-own cocktail bar over at Whiz Bangs. It's going to revolutionize the nightclub and restaurant industry. That's what I do with my extra time. What do you do? You don't have the extra time because you're tying your shoes.
So the time that you save not tying your shoes, instead you're fat.
I revolutionize the world is what I do.
I guess I'll have to get some of those shoes. Where can you?
Or maybe some pull-ons, maybe. Some deck shoes. Same thing.
Are we taking care of our old customers? That's a good idea. $1 million. Yes. Very good.
Bigscast at gmail.com. Mr. Biggs, the next email reads, recently, I went out for Chinese. At the end of the meal, I got a fortune cookie. The fortune read, quote, find a hobby. It will relax your nerves. This is happening more and more with fortunes from fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Rather than receiving a fortune, I get snide comments like this that sound like they were written by my mother-in-law.
Oh.
What's going on here? Signed, Kyle in Arizona. Mr. Biggs?
Is Kyle's mother Korean?
I don't.
Why would she be writing fortune cookies? Because he's very bitter. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he wrote in that email? He's very bitter.
He does seem a little upset. I think what he's saying is that when he goes for Chinese, which...
What does that mean?
Well,
is that like a euphemism?
I take it to mean...
Like cruising?
I take it to mean he's going out for Chinese food.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you.
And then he gets the fortune cookie.
That's why he's getting fortune cookies.
Yes, he's getting a fortune cookie, and I think what he's saying is
Mom's writing them.
Frequently, the messages, the fortunes inside the cookies are not really fortunes.
Korean food makes me gassy. I avoid it generally. And when I do have it, I've noticed that those cookies... who said that they can be allowed to be a cookie? That's not a cookie. That's more like a ceramic. It's ceramic is what it is.
Yeah, they're...
ceramic treat.
They're not
It's
really...
edible ceramic, not a cookie.
Not traditionally what we think of as cookies, but, you know,
Yeah.
the Chinese, I think, they're making a little...
And those Chinese people don't speak English. If he's reading the fortune, something's probably lost in the translation because some guy's got to sit down with his little pen. He's got to write it down in English. That what did he say his fortune said?
He said the fortune read, "Find a hobby; it will relax your nerves."
Yeah, they probably wrote that wrong. It's probably something like a relaxing hobby will find your nerves. Like an ancient Chinese proverb or something. Or you'll find a nervous hobby while relaxing. I once had these batteries that said on them, with happy power. With power and happy grace you have, or something like that. They don't know how to write English at all.
They struggle.
They screw it up all the time.
So
I don't think they can see very well.
So what you're suggesting is there's just...
I think you should try French food instead. I've had much better luck with French food. I love French cuisine.
Well, he certainly won't
Lots
have to...
of butter, sauces. Oh, love it. Can't get enough.
He certainly won't have to deal with fortune cookies.
What?
They don't serve. They don't serve fortune cookies at French restaurants. They.
Line 4 is ready.
Should we get a phone call? It's open. We've got open phones, wide open phones.
What line is that call on?
That's 4. Line 4.
4's good.
Do you feel lucky?
Go to 4.
Punk.
You see this? I'll plug your nose with this. You be respectful.
Just move on.
We got a call on line 4. Let's. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. I'm blind, and I have my guide dog. And I was turning the corner to catch the bus, ran into high school kids, and they were stepping on my guide dog, pushing me around, and my guide dog couldn't figure out which way to go because there were so many kids on, I guess, in the street.
Were they trying to hurt you?
No.
Like take your stick or something?
No, they were just pushing me around, walking into my guide dog. Oh. And so my dog just stood still and waited till everything passed, then we went on our way.
Okay. Thanks for the call. I found that high school kids have very little tolerance for the handicapped. And also, I want to apologize for going off the handle at you before. It's just that you set me off
with the.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss it. Let's just say that you're not going to do it again, and everything's fine, right? You see, I made good there. Everything's fine. You hear that, Chuck? I made good. You don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. You're not mad, right?
No, I'm perfectly fine. No,
you see?
No hard feelings.
Yeah, everything's fine.
We're all good. We're all good to go.
Yeah.
I think maybe we might be out of time.
We got calls standing by.
What's this?
We got calls.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Standing by.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted them, right?
There's another call.
I don't understand what he said. What'd he say?
Can you repeat that, please?
There's a call standing by on line 5.
Well, he certainly knows English. Okay, fair enough. Line 5 is ready. Caller, hello.
Hey, just real quick, I'd like to say I was up by San Marcos today on business, and as I was driving down, in my moment of stupidity, I yelled out the window, "Viva America!" and at that point, a Suburban on the other street did a U-turn and came up quickly behind me. They got up next to me and they threw a bottle full of Sprite through my driver's side window.
Well, that's what you get.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I deserve.
Yeah, you shouldn't be so boastful, sir. It's not a good quality. I used to have this hat. Said, number one uncle. And I wore that to the bowling alley a couple of times. I didn't like the way it made me act.
I don't think he'll be writing any fortune cookie fortunes anytime soon.
He never said that he wanted to. What's your point?
That's true. That's a good point.
Sometimes you say things that are just, it's like you're crazy or something. You know that, right? What? I didn't say anything bad. Did I say anything bad? That wasn't bad.
No. That's I actually think I know what you're talking about. So
okay, well, good. And what's with the?
There's no.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's no.
Lay off of me.
There's no trouble here. There are no problems here.
Well, that's what I keep telling him, but he says that I'm a little bit too harsh with you.
Oh, I don't, no. Oh,
You
goodness.
see?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness, no. No hard feelings here.
We're good.
Yeah, we're fine. I was, we've got an exciting week coming up. We've got the karaoke.
Public domain karaoke.
Coming up at
Whizbangs this Thursday night. Feel free to bring your sheet music and your Americana songbooks. And Gladys will be accompanying on Casio keyboard.
That's gonna be outstanding. And your shoes are still off. I'm
gonna have to put those on.
Could you?
Yeah.
Could you do that?
Do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's terrific. That's Whizbangs at Phillips and Mountain downtown, where the fun never ends and the parties never ending.
Excellent.
And
you're very good at what you do.
The all you can drink. Build your own
cocktail bar. It will be all you can drink.
That
will be in italics underneath on the sign.
On the ad.
All you can drink, which I think will make it very popular.
Is that one flat charge then? Or
yeah, you come in, you pay I don't want to give away too much.
No.
I don't want that Stuart Anderson trying to cop it. But, that's basically the idea. And you make your own drink. You don't got to wait for anybody. You can mix it how you want.
Well, like you said, we don't want to give away too much as we get close.
I will say it involves wristbands.
Well, that always makes makes a night really special.
That's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're almost done with the laminate work and the drainage.
Once you get those projects sewn up with Hector, everything is going to be Jake.
What?
Everything is going to be Jake.
I don't follow you. Everything's going to be Jake?
Yeah, everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be
okay.
Copacetic.
I was afraid you were cursing again.
No more cursing today.
Are we done here? It seems like the show is over.
Yes, we are actually. It's funny you should mention that. You've got that internal clock, I think, that goes off.
No, it's Timex. It's an analog digital combo.
That's very nice. Looks.
I've got the look and the sophistication of the analog watch with the convenience of the digital readout. I gotta just look at that and see what time it is.
That's
people think I'm reading the analog watch. I'm not.
It's very.
I'm looking at the digital. Yeah, it's one of my secrets for looking sophisticated.
Well, it certainly does work. It sets off the navy blue tracksuit. I'm gonna call it midnight blue. That's what I'm gonna call that color.
I don't recall what the color was in the catalog, but that sounds right. They have people whose job it is to write those names.
Come up with the color.
They come up with those.
With the color titles. Well, that's
a nice job if you can get it. Nice work if you can get it.
Well, that is midnight blue, or I am a monkey's uncle.
Are we done?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Happy ending.
I'm still going to sing Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.